Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wendy and this is Happily Handmade, and today I'm going to do the Colour Your Season tag that the lovely Colouring K tagged me 11 days ago, 12 days ago. Yeah, I've been been slow on the take up, sorry Kay, but thank you very much for colouring me. So this tag was created by Meg from at Disney Meg's Colouring and Amanda from Amanda Colours. I'll tag them below in the description, hopefully, if I remember. I've got a brain to actually remember it. But thank you very much for creating this tag. Yeah, how well I'm going to do at it, I honestly do not know. Because, yeah, I'm not really a seasonal colouring. I can't even talk, I'm sorry. I'm not even a seasonal colourist, really. If I'm honest, as you probably know if you've watched me, I just colour what I like when I want to do it. So that's if I'm really honest. So yeah, some of this I'm going to find a bit difficult, I think, but I'll do my best shot at it. Hopefully it may be entertaining along the way. Maybe not. Maybe entertaining because I've got no brain left. We'll see. So I've picked out, as you can see, Gabby Wolf's Wonder Whirls colouring book that was in my colouring plans for this month, and I've picked this page. I can't remember. Did I pick a page in my colouring plans? I'm not sure I did really, but anyway, I plunked for this one because, well, it's a mushroom house, so why not? I was umming and ahhing between this one and there's that little house that I'm describing has got a pea roof. So I've lost it now. No, this one. So I was kind of umming and ahhing about maybe doing this like it was a pumpkin rather than peas, but I kind of think it looks like peas, so I'm going to save it and do it as though it's peas and go with mushrooms that are very autumnal, so yeah, we'll go with that. And as you can see, I've got out a handful of random pencils. So I've got a Derwent drawing out, I've got a few luminance out, I've got a couple of the paler Holbeins out. That's all I'm going to be doing. I'm probably not going to get very much colouring done because talking and colouring I find quite difficult, especially when it's questions and I'm like, oh, I actually need to think about what I'm saying. It's not just what I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully this is not a total disaster, but I'm going to do a little bit. Probably not going to do it very much, but we'll see. Okay, so what is your favourite thing to colour in season? Well, obviously I'm in the UK, so at the moment we're in autumn. I think it'd be fall, wouldn't it be, in America, but definitely autumn that I'm in currently. If I'm honest, if I had to pick a season, probably autumn wouldn't be my pick for a season. That is what I'm currently in at the moment, but yeah, it's not my favourite season really. If I'm talking about real life and not necessarily colouring, I definitely prefer spring. That is my much preferred season, when you're coming out the back end of winter and it's been cold, wet, more cold, more wind, more cold. Having a dog, yeah, I love having a dog. She's beautiful, she's lovely, she's great company, but oh, I do not enjoy winter walks with the dog. No, it's not fun. So the relief that is spring and starting to see things grow and just feel like a bit of warmth on you again, and yeah, hope for the year ahead. I much personally prefer spring to autumn every time. I cannot lie, that is my preference. But autumn does have its bonuses, doesn't it? I mean, on the plus side, you kind of it's a bit more cosy, isn't it? You tend to be back inside a bit, don't you? And I do like all the autumn colours and that kind of thing that's going on at the moment, and leaves falling. I quite like that when we're walking, and we go on quite a woodlandy walk, my dog and I, and all the leaves falling around you can be quite pretty as you're walking around. I do like that part of it, definitely. But what's the favourite thing to colour in this season? Obviously pumpkins has got to be my major answer, hasn't it? And I do, as you know, like a whimsical, magical scene, and I'll do them all the time anyway, but they probably fit in more with autumn, don't they? You know, this kind of, obviously you're not going to get a mushroom house, but yeah, I can see just walking down the road, there's lots of homes on my road that have got lots of mushrooms popping up all over the lawn where they've got trees and things. So Definitely, anything natural I enjoy colouring in autumn, in autumnal colours. For it's a little bit different, isn't it? At this page, I think I am going to do these trees kind of golds and browns and that kind of tone in them to make this a little bit feel autumnal on this page. And I do enjoy that kind of colour palette for a bit of a change, really. Yeah, I don't know. Have I answered that? I don't know if I have. We'll see. Anyway, what are your favourite colours to use on a seasonal page? Well, I think I've just kind of answered that, haven't I? Definitely golds, browns, yellows, bit of red. I like all of those colours anyway, really. No excuse to not use some colour in my mind. I do quite like strong colour most of the time, really. I don't do my colouring quite pale and lightweight. I do like getting the colour. Even on portraits, I like getting the colour pretty vivid, really. So anything that's really strong and bold is always going to be my cup of tea in terms of taste for colour. Sometimes I kind of look at it back and think, yeah, maybe I should have done a little bit less colour there. That would have been better if I'd just been a bit more subtle and not been quite as in your face with that colour tone. But I am who I am. I like my colours strong, autumn or any season. It's going to be strong colour. If I can squeeze it in there, yeah, bright. I've already done this month a couple of pages out of my Clara Markova, and they both have pumpkins. And the first one that I did, I've noticed already that I'd kind of done the pumpkins a bit more realistic, and they've got a bit of green and the colours a little bit more muted. And the second one, I thought, no, I'm not doing that again. Those colours are going to be strong. And she's basically got a radioactive pumpkin in the second version, but you'll see that at the end of the month. But yeah, some strong colour is definitely what I like, regardless of the season, but definitely for autumn. I like those yellows, orange, reds, pretty punchy. What's your favourite seasonal scent? Yeah, I've got to be honest, I find this quite difficult to answer, really. I'm not 21, as you may have figured out from watching me before, and yeah, autumn just wasn't a big thing in the UK, really. Halloween, when we were kids, didn't really do it. There was no way my mother would have let us go out, going trick-or-treating or anything like that. In her mind, that's wrong. You just didn't do it when we were kids, really. Very, very few kids did that when we were young. So I think kind of all the Halloween autumn scents are very much not really a British thing. Well, for me anyway, certainly not really a British thing. I don't buy a candle or anything like that that's particularly autumnal or something like that. I suppose the only thing when I was thinking about this was in the UK we do bonfire night on November the 5th, and I do always love that on the 6th. When you get up in the morning, if you get up early morning, the air really does smell of bonfires and fireworks, and it's probably something horrific that we shouldn't be breathing in. But I do really like that smell, the morning after bonfire night, where you can really smell the kind of, I don't know, is it sulphur from the fireworks? I'm not sure. I'm no scientist. Okay, is it sulphur? I don't know. But whatever that smell is, the morning after when they've been lighting bonfires, but mainly fireworks, if I'm honest now particularly, I do love that morning smell of it afterwards. I think that does remind me of this time of year like nothing else, really. But yeah, I don't have a favourite candle or drink or something like that maybe you'd associate with a particular scent. Boring, I know, sorry. My answer's going to be boring to all of these. I apologise in advance. What's my next question? Where's my little list? What is your favourite seasonal decor? Well, again, I don't really do it. Yeah, maybe it's a British thing. Maybe it's just my age. I think young people now in the UK definitely do. I've noticed near where my mum lives that a lot of people put different kind of wreaths on their doors near where my mother is that are definitely seasonal. I've seen them have spring ones, and that I can see them swapping over now to a more autumnal looking thing. But yeah, I'm boring and I don't do any of that. I don't really change much in the house. I think the only thing I have changed of late is lighting, really. Now it's getting a bit darker here in the UK. I don't love it when it goes dark, I'll be totally honest. My alarm for work goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning because I don't live very near to the school that I teach in, so I do have to drive quite a long way. So I'm getting up in the dark, obviously, at that time in the morning. And, you know, the longer we go through these months, then, yeah, I'm coming home in the dark as well. So I do change about the lighting. Like, my husband very kindly just bought us at the weekend when we went out to Costco some of those pretend candles that are not candles. But yeah, quite a big set of those. So I've just been placing those around the lounge, and they're all timed, so they're quite good, realistic looking candles. Actually, I was quite impressed by them. They're actually made of wax. When I actually opened the pack, I was like, oh, they don't just look like them. They actually feel like a proper candle. Yeah, so I have cozied up the lounge a bit and add a bit more lighting. I have a couple of remote control little fairy light things that I have in. Are they hurricane jars? They're basically in the bottom. You can't see them, but I have those all switched on onto automatic, so that when you get home it actually feels quite cosy rather than just coming back to a dark shell, and then tripping over the dog, because she will stand just where she knows you can't see her. I think she's entertained in tripping me up. She seems to be doing a lot at the moment. Tiny trip hazard. But yeah, I don't go out for loads of Halloween things really. I don't have any children, and to be honest, most of the little kids on my road here have now grown up, moved out. So I did used to decorate the front for Halloween purely because they lived here really, and they want to knock on the doors, don't they, and get some sweets and all that. But now they've kind of moved, and we're right at the end of a cul-de-sac here, so it's not really the kind of road you come up if you don't really live here. So yeah, I probably won't even do that this year, just because it's kind of a waste of time. I think the last time I did it, I think 3 people knocked on the door, and I bought loads of sweets, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do with these now? We ended up having to take them to school, and then everyone's like, oh, I don't want any more of them. Just ended up binning them, so what's the point? So yeah, boring. I don't really change much about decor. What is my favourite seasonal food? That's a tricky question, really. Again, I wouldn't say I bought anything particularly kind of autumnal. I think I have certainly noticed that as the colds started to kick back in again, I've certainly wanted more warmer meals. So yeah, I not one really for a great big tea at the end of the day, particularly if I'm working. I don't want to cook something massive. My husband always wants a plate full, but I'm not particularly bothered most nights of the week really. But even I'm like, actually, I really fancy some roast potatoes. And I did cook them this week, but I've not cooked them since, March, something like that. I think you do kind of, because well, certainly here in the UK, the temperature definitely has changed. Just hotter meals, I think, is what I would say. I wouldn't say it was a specific food, but more kind of stews, roast dinners, that kind of thing. Roast potatoes. I had a real craving for them this week. Like, it's cold, I just want some roast potatoes and gravy. It's not much to ask for, is it? Something like that. But yeah, I know, that's not exciting, isn't it? I'm sure lots of other people are saying fancy coffees with flavours in and all sorts, but I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. I don't know any of those. My favourite season. What is your favourite seasonal activity? I suppose I'm going to say dog walks, aren't I, really? Because I'm doing that all time of year. But yeah, I do like a kind of, if you catch a nice, like today is one, it's a little bit windy, but it's quite sunny out there. It's a bit blowy, so the leaves are going everywhere. We have some quite nice walks where I live around here. So I do like, if you've got a nice day where it's dry, that is my requirement for a good dog walk. Dry. I hate getting soaked. That is the downside of a dog, getting soaked. But yeah, I think that's one of my favourite autumnal activities, because I am fortunate that I don't work every day in school, thankfully. So going for a walk in the middle of the day when it's nice and everyone else is at work, and I can just literally go for a nice seasonal walk. That is nice. I do enjoy doing that. Get a bit of peace, blow away your worries. Yeah, it's lovely. But we don't really do anything particularly for this season. We're too busy at work, really. My husband isn't a teacher, but you know he does work, obviously, and he's very busy as well at the moment. So yeah, we're not really doing anything that I would describe seasonal or exciting. If I'm honest, autumn's not a big season for me. It's just one of those seasons in between seasons, I think, for me. Boring, I know, sorry. I'm sure there's lots of people doing much more exciting things. What colouring book do you feel best embodies the season? Oh, tricky. I've got a few out. One that I totally forgot out of my colouring plans because it was in my work bag. Totally forgot about it. But yeah, Hannah Carlson's Tales from the Witch's Cottage. Obviously this is, well, not that witches don't live all year, because clearly they do, so some of this isn't going to be just autumn. But obviously if you want some autumn vibe pages, this is going to be a good book to have a go in, because there's plenty of witches in here and plenty of scenes like this with her pumpkins and random flying cat. So yeah, definitely something like this is going to be a great book. I have somewhere I've started, don't know where it is. I've started on this little lady mixing her potions. Not got very far, like I say. This has been in my work bag, so it's literally just if I actually get a minute at my lunch break, or sometimes in the morning because I go in very early. Sometimes I get half an hour in the morning where I've prepped everything I want and I can just do a little bit. So this has just been picked up, put down, and so on, just to do a little bit. But yeah, I think this is a good book. As you can see, I've not done a huge amount in it. I think it's a good seasonal book. The other obvious one, which again I've not coloured in at all, I don't know what it is about this book, but obviously if you want a seasonal book, Rita Berman's, is it My Walk Through Autumn or something like that? This one is great for autumnal images, and there are some cute pages in here. Look at these are so cute. But yeah, I don't know what it is about this book. It doesn't call to me in the same way. I don't know, it's quite zen doodly, isn't it, in parts, and maybe that's what puts me off a little bit. There's some pages I quite like these, but there's quite a lot that's very patterny, and I'm not sure that's my thing really when it comes to colouring. But certainly if you want some autumnal scenes, this is a great book. In fact, there's a nice firework one there, isn't there? Which I would like to do. Where's that just gone? I've lost it. Oh yeah, there. Oh, is it fireworks or is it the dandelion clocks? Kind of looks like it should be the clocks, but I might do that as fireworks. Possibly I might do that. But yeah, there's that one. And then obviously I've recently, don't mind me when I knock everything. What an idiot. I've recently got this Christy Vogel's, don't know. But I'm thinking this is quite autumnal as well. Obviously it's full of little whimsical characters, but it's all kind of mushrooms and plants and things like that very easily you could make autumnal. I suppose it could be spring, but when I think of mushrooms, I think of this time of year really. And as you can see, I've got a couple of pages marked that I'm thinking about this month. But certainly I think this feels like an autumnal book to me, just because of the plants that are in it really. Obviously there's some that have got some summer flowers in, and actually some spring flowers with bleeding heart there, aren't they? But I don't know, feels quite autumnal for me, and I think it's going to be an autumnal book for me. This one that I'm colouring in obviously could be for any season. I'm just going to do this page, but yeah, it's like I say, I don't think it's a favourite season for me, so I've not got hundreds of books that I would say fit that season bracket. Probably I'd have more Christmas books. Maybe I should have waited and done this tag when we hit Christmas, because then it'd have been much easier. Anyway, where was it up to? Do I have any seasonal traditions? No. No, I don't. Like I say, it's not a big thing for me over here. Autumn is just leaves falling off. That's pretty much it for me, really. I don't think I do anything amazingly exciting. Do I go on any seasonal vacations? Nope, because I'm at work, so that kind of limits that ability to do that. We do have a half-term week off towards the end of October, but my husband won't be off, so we won't be going anywhere. And it's literally get your jobs done before you go back into school all the way up to Christmas. So yeah, there's no time for any kind of holidays here really. Just a recharge week is what I would describe that as. Recharge and get your jobs done week. Do I have a favourite seasonal memory? I suppose my favourite seasonal memories really in terms of this time of year are about bonfire night really. My dad did used to take us to bonfire nights at various different places, and I do always associate it with him eating black peas. I don't actually know what they are now I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about it when I was just going through these questions. I was like, yeah, but what were they? I always used to think they were absolutely disgusting. But they are peas, but they were black. I don't know. I should look it up. I don't know what they are. But I always remember him eating those at that time of year. I never ate them because they look disgusting. But he loved eating those. And I suppose it does remind me of my dad, really, at this time of year, of him taking us to bonfire. Normally there's like events over here in the UK, so there'll be some place that has an organised big bonfire and they will have an organised firework display. You can buy fireworks and let them off at home, and I think he did do that one year. But I think at school, when I was still at primary school here, so like, is it kindergarten in America? I don't know. I was young anyway. The fireman had been in and showed us one of those horrific videos of people hurting themselves on fireworks. So then he'd bought fireworks thinking I'd be really pleased, but I was just terrified because we'd watched this video, and I as I've said before, I can't watch scary things. They just affect me. So basically, I wouldn't come out. He was lighting off the fireworks, and I kind of watched a few through the window inside, but I wouldn't go out because I was too scared, because the fireman had showed us these videos and they were horrific. So it kind of spoiled them a little bit. But yeah, I suppose this time of year does remind me of that, and him taking us to various places when I wasn't terrified, a little bit older. Yeah, I did used to enjoy that. But yeah, that's probably my favourite seasonal memory, really, of going to various different bonfires with him. And they always have kind of like funfair things and various different food stalls and things like that. It's quite, and obviously it's cold and you're wrapped up, and yeah, it's just a nice memory of it, really. But certainly Halloween, we never used to do as kids. I don't really have any memories of that other than you're not doing it. That's as far as that used to go, really. Yeah, I've not got much of this done, have I? But yeah, that was the last one, really, on these questions for your Colour Your Season tag. So yeah, many thanks to Kay for tagging me. I'm going to tag the lovely Anne from Pretty Pages 71. Please have a go at this lovely tag. And Colour with Dan, would you also have a go at your Colour Your Seasons tag? Thank you very much for Kay for tagging me. I hope it was a little bit entertaining. Sorry, I was so boring. Did my best, sorry. Thanks for watching anyway. Hope you're enjoying your colouring. Bye bye.